ladies and gentlemen, and a very good morning to you. A very warm welcome to the World Para-Alpine Skiing World Cup here in sunny Spain. We're once again back in La Molina, where this time it's the turn of the slalom events. The end of the GS season is upon us, so we turn to the tourney course of the slalom, the technical event. So many skiers love this event, but it does mean anything can happen. But before we move on to that, let's remind ourselves of just how the giant slalom season ended yesterday. Yeah, down at the finish line, Mena and Jen. Guys, that was a terrific second run. Really close after the first one. Bit of a comeback in the second. How did you find it going down?
It was tough. It was quite a fight, but it was really good fun. We said to each other, let's just last race of the GS race of the season, so let's just go out there and put everything into it, and that's what we did.
Does it almost make it more special how close it was, how dramatic it was right at the end?
Yeah, because thanks to Arthur, I will to thank you, because you are really a good athlete and you push me to the limits, and this season it is really what it is, so it's really good, and I hope Arthur can win the overall, because we really deserve it, and yeah, we will see.
So those are the highlights from yesterday, and what a dramatic conclusion to the giant slalom season. Theo Gimor winning it via tiebreak in the very last race in the men's standing. And elsewhere there were so many great moments as well. Johan Kampschner and Marie Boucher remain almost unstoppable, but this is a new event. This is the slalom, and as Marie said to herself yesterday, anything can happen. So that's what we're looking forward to today on run number 1 of the slalom here in La Molina. Don't forget to get in touch with us on social media. But to tell you more about that and to get us started this morning, it's over to our race commentator. He is Alan March. Morning, Alan.
Morning, Stephen Jameson. Stephen gets to sit outside with the sunshine. I'm in a small room, 2 foot by 2 foot. But there you go. You can get in touch with us if you want to here on social media. You can use the hashtag, which of course is Para-Alpine, as Stephen was talking about a few moments ago, at Para-Alpine. Is also how you can follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I believe they're all up and running these days. No more scares of that nature. It's going to be a warm one the next couple of days. Interesting the work that's going to be needed on the course. We're already at 1 degree, highs of 14 today, highs of 18 expected here in the Roc Blanc area of the Alp. But, you know, the course so far hasn't let us down. The athletes have enjoyed it. They've enjoyed topping up a tan at the same time. 55 gates set by Jean-Sébastien Lambry, one of the Canadian coaches. Altitude 20 6-0. It's a drop of 200 meters today. Six events, as always. 3 for the men, 3 for the women. Zagreb was the last time we witnessed any slalom action, right at the beginning of the season. Veronica Agner is the leader in the women's VI. Melissa Perrine and Menna Fitzpatrick sorted out their tussle for the giant slalom. And, one of the forerunners getting away. Forerunner making their way down. See the wind billowing around again. It's something that's been an ever-present along with the sunshine. We haven't had many days where the wind hasn't been a factor. Here is the young leader. When she set the points to become leader, she was 15. Here she is competing again on the circuit towards the end of the World Cup. And now she's 16. Couldn't go to the World Championships because of her age. But she has certainly got tongues wagging, as they would say where I come from. The talk of the town in the slalom world is Veronica Agner. She didn't look bad in the giant slalom yesterday either. So Agner, Veronica, guided by Agner Elizabeth at the front or the right of your shot as you look at it. A couple more Agners coming through at younger age groups as well. The future for Austria is bright. The future is Agner as far as they're concerned. You can see already at just before 9 a.m. local time how much the sun is beating onto the white snow, the reflections of the sun. It's a cameraman's nightmare, to be fair. But as always, every shot of the World Cup season and World Championships have been brought to you by the International Paralympic Committee, and today is no different as Agner sets the opening time. 58:28 for the current World Cup leader. Well, Perrine and Bobby Kelly up next, came from behind to take more points on day 2 of the giant slalom. They were third yesterday, but the World Cup globe was securely theirs. And Fitzpatrick with victory over young Agner yesterday. As the athletes will tell you then, the slalom far more turny, far more twisty, far more skill needed for this discipline. VI athletes, each discipline suits each person very differently. Mel will not appreciate the light and shade effect with her impairment. But through she comes, 1.18 quicker. That's a good run from Perrine. If you want somebody that's pretty good at slalom, look no further than the Paralympic gold medalist. Pyeongchang's gold medal winner. Patrick and Keogh have had a wonderful 18 to 24 month period off the back of Tarvisio. They worked tirelessly hard. You speak to their coach John and he'll tell you that they try different things all the time, skiing different terrain, new boots, new skis, anything and everything to see what makes them quicker. How much quicker they want to go. She's very, very good is Fitzpatrick, but she's just having a few difficulties this time around. And 3 of these athletes sit in the middle classification, B2, B1 being the lowest visual acuity. Oh, Fitzpatrick really having to slide to a halt basically there. I don't think Keogh was aware that she lost to so much, and a real difficulties at the bottom for the Paralympic champion. Well, each course suits each person very differently. I think I said that a little bit earlier on. And Fitzpatrick won't have enjoyed that one, but she will come back fighting, I can guarantee you that. Melissa Perrine then, 57-10, Australia lead from Austria. Veronica Eigner, 58-28, Great Britain sit in third, 105-03. Maddie Bochet will go first in this event. However, she wasn't in Zagreb, so the leader of this category is Frédéric Turgeon. I would imagine Turgeon is in no doubt, but that will be under pressure from the very first run this morning. Bochet dominated the World Cup in all the other categories so far. The World Championships belong to her as well, and really is in the form of her life at still just 25 years of age. Go back through her medal haul throughout her career and it's just vast. Shea, impairment on the left side, her lower arm, as you can see, no use of the ski pole, however the factored time still 100%. Bochet, no real dramas, 54-71. Will we see that beaten? Binja Schmidt, also impairments to the arms, no ski poles at all for Binja. .88 seconds back. It's a hard time to try and chase down. Already, oh, and a fall here for Schmidt. And within the first 5 athletes, we have our first DNF. Annie Kunkel shaking herself ready. Just being told to wait at the moment, Kunkel. And in fact, that goes across, so we're ready for the American. Kunkel away then. We've already had 1 podium place for the young American, just 17 herself. Competed in the games, like Bochet, just a single arm impairment, so a factored time of 100%, just 0.54 down here. I do like the look of Ali Kunkel. I know she's young, there's still plenty to learn, but something about her when she's out there that impresses me. A mistake a moment ago, and that's the youth and inexperience part of it. But certainly moving very sharply between these gates. Is she in for the challenge with Bochet and Turgeon? 2.93 back in the end. Well, mistakes are what you need to eradicate. Bochet does it very, very well indeed. It's what the rest have to emulate. This is Alana Ramsey, 4th place finish in the World Championships this year. She'll be an athlete expecting a podium place from this. 0.89 down. Kunkel was inside that 0.89 in her run. We're going to get a small delay after this run as well. My understanding is that the wind again is causing a few problems at the top, so Alana Ramsey will be the last athlete to come for a couple of moments, and the 24-year-old hits the line 3 seconds out, so Kunkel stays in third position, and in fact there is no delay, so there you go. Frédérique Turgeon, the leader of the World Cup, gets going then. She's had difficulties with the giant slalom. Oh, a little difficulty there as well, 0.77. So at the moment, the ladies are doing well in terms of being with Bochet in this early sector. Coming up to 45 seconds, Turgeon towards the final part of the course then. 54.71 is Bochet. Is the World Cup leader's going to be close? No, it's behind and into second though. She is ahead of Kunkel as she drops down onto the ground, and Turgeon will see the funny side of that. Yeah, second so far after the Zagreb slalom events is Ana Maria Rida. Just 18 again. Whilst Bochet is still fairly young at 25, there is a real crop of young talent coming through in the women's standing division. Rida, Turgeon, Kunkel, all being part of that. Well, Ramsey's still only 24, as I mentioned, so 19-year-old Turgeon, 18-year-old Rida. It's a classification worth watching, and they'll all be hot on the tail of Bochet for the next couple of years, waiting for her to slip up. Sometimes athletes enter a sport at the wrong generation. You take people like Roger Federer. Well, can Bochet emulate that sort of success? She's doing it already at 25. How much more will she go for as Rida gets across the line? Just looking at Ami Hondo a moment ago, but this is Mel Perrine from the VI. This is Bochet. The current leaders of both VI and standing. So Bochet from Turgeon, Kunkel, Ramsey and Rida so far, and as I mentioned, the wind is causing a few problems at the top, so we do now have a delay. But, we are going to get back to racing very, very shortly. This is Ami Hondo from Japan. Two-year-old, born without fingers on her left hand, so therefore the ski pole only being used in the right. Another of the athletes with 100% factored time. 23.36 through this section. Hondo winning herself a medal during the World Championships, not in slalom or GS, it has to be said. Therefore has got a bit of a struggle here, 2.93 seconds back. Hondo heading towards the line. 6:62 behind for Hondo. This is Mel Pemble. Another that falls into the bracket of still learning, 18 years of age. Impairment being cerebral palsy. Affects her ability to walk and the coordination in her right hand. Pemble will be quite a way outside of Bochet's time. As she hits the line, it's 9.89 seconds back, so that drops her behind Hondo. Here comes the scream, normally. Ursula Maramon will go first for the two Spanish athletes out on course this morning. Marimon, 35. Right leg amputee just above the knee. And she was involved in a motorcycle accident, and Marimon sliding out here in the opening run of the slalom. You can see the disappointment as she smashes the outrigger, the pole in her right hand, down into the ground in frustration. Just looking back here, it's here she's trying to turn very hard into this blue gate, realizing she's going to miss it, and down she goes. The cruel mistress that is the slalom. If you get wide here, there isn't the gaps like in giant slalom to correct it, and Marimon down on the side as we welcome the second of the Spanish athletes, Raquel Martinez Nunez. Another of our athletes with cerebral palsy. 27 years old now. World Cup debut yesterday in the giant slalom in preparation for these slalom events. Again, as we always like to stress, each of the athletes will have different impairments. Each of the athletes will have different goals in what they want to achieve. For Nunez, it is about finishing on a World Cup circuit with the greats. And that's the area we just lost her compatriot Marimon. We're looking at an athlete here whose cerebral palsy affects both her arms and her legs, so she's showing us her inner strength as well as her outer strength to cope with her impairment. Put on the skis and hit that blue line. 27:48 for Raquel Martinez Nunez. So the results after the first run of the giant slalom for the women. In the standing, Marie Bochet is head of the standings. Turgeon, Kunkel and Ramsey all within a minute. So the top four chasing hard. The battle for third and second, it looks good. They're closer to Bochet than they were in the giant slalom. Don't miss the second run in that one. Now, just 3 ladies taking part in the giant slalom for sitting, but one of those is the world and Paralympic champion. The other has been dominant in many of the other fields across this World Cup. So Annalena Forster against Momoka Muraoka will be interesting. Laurie Stevens is a former Paralympic champion, so you never discount one of those. Japan's Muraoka starts us off. Winner absolutely hands down of the giant slalom World Cup event, as she was the giant slalom Paralympic and world champion. No faults during this season to report for Muraoka. The 21-year-old makes her way down this first of 2 slalom events here in La Molina before we start to think about heading to the World Cup final in France. Starts next week. Make sure you're watching all of that action as well. Well, because factor time, 78.43. An impairment causes an inflammation of the spinal cord. Does Muraoka. Medalled in every event in Pyeongchang. Bronze medalist at the World Championships. Silver medalist at the Paralympics in this discipline. And she sets the first time for the 3 ladies in the slalom. Laurie Stevens. 59.75 is the time that's been set. Stevens by far the oldest of the 3, 34 years old now. Took up skiing at the age of 12. Lady born with spina bifida. Didn't prevent her from going to the 2006 Winter Games and winning 2 gold medals. Heike Eder was the bronze medal winner in Pyeongchang. A lot of changes in the women's sitting category as Stevens hits the line 6.59 seconds back from Muraoka. Very simple in this category. Get across the line and you are up for a podium place. So 1.33 seconds inside is the reigning Paralympic and world champion. You just see how each of these disciplines suits different athletes. Forster managing to dance through these poles. Muraoka prefers the quicker events, but has already put in a decent run here to show that she's learning as well. But Forster really manoeuvring very neatly, and look at this, 3.85. Well, no doubting who now leads this World Cup, the world and Paralympic champion. Manoeuvres her way to top spot. Muraoka in second position. Stevens in third. So we've got a short delay in competition at the moment. Stevens, Muraoka, Forster will be back in the second run. We're going to go and have a chat with our host, Stephen Jameson.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alan. A bit of a delay up at the top, so I've found a couple of friends to come and chat to. The leaders of the slalom currently for the women's VI, Bobby and Mel. Hello, how are we doing? Great run earlier on this morning, and you lead the way. How was it?
It was good. We just basically tried to put a really solid run together. We know we can ski good slalom when we actually try and relax and just get a bit of a flow going. So we did that, and luckily enough it was enough for first place going into second run.
Yeah, I know slalom is your guys' favourite event, and there's not been an awful lot of it this year since the World Championships. How nice is it to be back skiing it?
It's great.
Yeah,
We actually did our first run in Gates in about a month this morning, so it was good fun.
Yes.
Yeah, Bobby, have you missed it?
Oh, so much. It's been great. Nice move, and yeah.
And in terms of the competition, you've now got 3 girls on the podium, including yourselves. Veronica's here as well. I know you guys have been wanting that extra competition throughout the season. How nice is it to at least have a full podium?
Yeah, it's awesome to have a full podium. You know, unfortunately we've had a few injuries in the VI category this season with Henrietta and Nomi hurting themselves, which is really disappointing. And then now we've got Veronica, which is great because she's an awesome competitor and she's such a skilled skier. So kind of amping up the competition in the women's VI, which is awesome.
Yeah, she was with you in Zagreb, I know. Which is the last time we did slalom, which feels like an awful long time ago. It's crazy, isn't it, how quickly the season's gone. And she skied really, really well. Was that something that was in your minds when you saw she was back for the slalom, that how well she skied and you knew you'd have it tough?
Definitely. We know that she's a really skilled skier. Her and her sister are a great pairing. She's incredibly talented and she's quite young too, so she's got a massive future in the sport.
So we knew it was going to be a fight today.
We did, we did. We knew it was going to be tough, but we also know that we've been skiing consistently, and we hoped that it would be a fight all the way through to the finish.
Well, you've made it look all right. How's the courses out there? Because we've seen all week this week. It's been a really wild week in terms of weather. We've varied from -3 to 18 degrees at times. How is the course treating you today?
Oh, look, the surface has been awesome. It's solid. It's like hero snow, so it's been amazing. For the conditions, it's been great. Yeah.
Super happy with how the organising committee's managed to get the snow. It's hard, but there's definitely some grip there to it as well. It's great racing snow, and basically with the weather it kind of feels like we're still back in Oz.
Yeah.
So we've got a bit of a
skiing,
yeah, definitely. This is Australian spring skiing right now, so welcome to our country.
So it feels like a little bit of a home advantage for you, a bit of a home away from home.
Yeah, this is definitely our spring camp.
Well, it's nice to have you with it. In terms of how much you enjoy, I know you guys love coming over to Europe for the season. How much have you enjoyed La Molina before we let you go?
It's awesome. Yeah, we're really enjoying Spain. Like, the food's awesome, the people are super nice, and the snow's great as well.
Skiing, good vibes.
Yeah, it's such a chill atmosphere with spring skiing. Everyone's kind of just relaxing out, and it's good times.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to watch you later on. Congratulations on the ski this morning, and thanks for talking to us. Alan, I think we're ready to go. It's back to you.
Thank you very much. Great little comments there from Mel and Bobby about how good the course has been throughout. Well done to all of the LOC, the local organising committee here in La Molina. These are the Giant Slalom. It said on your screen it's actually slalom. And we have the athletes coming up. Now, you notice a change. The reason we had a delay was the wind is so much that they've had to take the start gate down. So that was what the reason for the delay is. So don't adjust your pictures. So the start gate has gone, but the competition carries on. Thomas Salade, first of the 2 French athletes to go in this. Delaplace will be the last of the athletes to come. Savard and Kervran-Lemay are first. And, we talk about athletes who are learning. Savard very much fits into that category, 17 years of age, but sometimes a lot is missed when it comes to the guide as well. They are also learning. Nobody starts being a skier and thinks I'll guide somebody with a visual impairment down the mountain. So earlier in the week these two were disqualified for Kervan being too far ahead, which is one of the rules. You have to have a certain amount of gates in between you. Savard is smashing into a couple of these. Instructions for VI skiers are given via the Bluetooth headsets inside the helmets. You see Lemay this time has a good look behind him. He wasn't going to get caught out twice this week as Savard gets across. Those two set the time for everybody else now. Salade is a B3 skier, so the highest level of visual acuity across all the athletes. At the other end of the spectrum is Marek Kubacka, who is a B1 skier. His goggles are completely black. So this is the ultimate test of his skill, his trust, and his guide's communication. Maria Zlatovikova has the speaker on the bottom of her backpack, and Marek is simply following instructions. He can't see any shade of light. He won't note. Oh, he's just slipped out. If he's inside the boundaries, he might be able to be guided through the next gate. Not sure Zlatovikova can help him much here. I think he's going to slide out altogether. So, unless he's inside that gate, maybe. No, the pair of them are off on the side. So the current leader is getting ready. Maybe a little bit earlier than expected. And out goes Kubacka. This is Miroslav Hareos. Miroslav is a B2 athlete, guided by Maros Hudik. I mentioned he's the leader so far. His performances in Zagreb put him there. Oh no. Gold medal winner from, in fact there are no Pyeongchang medalists at all being represented this time out. Giacomo Bertagnoli was the overall winner in Pyeongchang. Hareos is up on the lead time so far. Savard wasn't without his difficulties in the run, and we've seen Miroslav Hareos go out twice in the 3 giant slaloms. 53.22, Savard leads, 0.71. The young Frenchman leads the way. Burton, Simpson, Delaplace to come. Here is the American, Kevin Burton. 6-year-old, originally born in Denver. Diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa while on active duty with the US Navy. Used to serve as a Arabic linguist. 9 years he was serving, before retiring on medical grounds. 0.83 down at the intermediate. 53.22 has gone as well, so Burton to the line. 57.15 drops into 3rd place. As we see the Simpson brothers. Now the difference between Savard and LeMay and the 2 Simpson brothers is there for all to see. Look how close. Look how much they mirror each other. By contrast, LeMay and Savard are literally gate poles apart. These two so close. Obviously the knack here is to make sure you don't get so close that your skis touch and cause yourself a problem, but equally if Neil is following brother Andrew, and Andrew is going the possible fastest route and safest route for a VI skier behind, the opportunity to be good is there, but when you make a slight mistake, you go out of the competition now. Running back up would give you the indication that he has every intention of going on. The ski is still there. And I think the rush was more to do with just getting reacquainted with the ski. I think having a bit of a problem with it as well. So young Simpson, another in his late teens, and yeah, he's going to try and get back to whatever gates he feels like he went through. I'm convinced that won't get reviewed at the end as well, but the two of them continue, and that shows a great spirit from the British pair as they hit the line. 146.67. So, well, it is worth doing if you can continue. Obviously, with Kubatska out already, the points for the World Cup continue for all the places. So another DNF for somebody in the next run, and if Simpson does indeed get a full time out of that, then it's all worth it. Hyacinth Delaplace, a winner of the giant slalom on day number 1. Maxime Jourdain is his guide. Savard leading then. That might be a surprise for some. Haraus in second, Burton in third. Neil Simpson's determination gets him across the line. The giant slalom Paralympic world champion, sorry, is out. Here we go then. Delaplace has tasted World Cup success here in La Molina. Is it Savard's turn to do that? Or has Delaplace got something up his sleeve? Got to be careful not to straddle the gates. That might have been close. Up at the top there. Again, another change in how the athletes do it. The guide here, Maxime Jourdain, a little bit further away than perhaps the two Simpson brothers were, but nowhere near the distance of Lemay for Savard. Plus, a little rough around the edges. This is the first slalom we've done since Zagreb, and Delaplace wasn't on the circuit at that point, so these are the first World Cup points possible. And goes for Savard, joined us later on in the circuit. 53.22. Oh, Delaplace has got it all sorts of wrong in that section and will trundle across the line eventually. Lost all manner of momentum. 56.47. That puts him in third. The frustration is there to be seen. So, well, the French not having too bad a time. They're first and third. Miroslav Haraus will be determined to close that gap on Savard in the second run. Delaplace, disappointed with his mistakes. Burton will try and close it on him. And Simpson, I think, might get reviewed, but should be back for the second run as long as he hasn't missed any of those gates. So this is the men's standing slalom start list. Santeri Kiveri, or Casual Kiveri as we were nicknaming him a little bit earlier on, so relaxed and laid back, will get us going. Robin Kuss, Davide Mendotti had an awful start to his La Molina yesterday, going out after the first gate of the giant slalom. Mendotti will be looking for something much better. We go with Santeri Kiveri, another youngster on the circuit from Alpine, has had a great time with the giant slalom. He was telling me about how he's had an illness. I've only really been back training for 2 or 3 weeks. Well, imagine how well he would have done if he hadn't have had that illness, because he looked very sharp in the giant slalom. How's his slalom work doing? He's, I tell you what, his feet are moving pretty good here. And he's finding a nice rhythm. It's trying not to lose your momentum, but keeping it safe enough to make the gates. Kiveri through the line, 50.07. Bit of a shake of the head, his impairment on his right arm, as you can see, as it's tucked in to the bib. Robin Kusch. Year-old from Neuchâtel in Switzerland. 1.28 seconds down on Kiveri at the moment. The nephew of Didier Kusch, silver medal winner in Alpine in the 98 Winter Olympics. Oh, just getting off balance, but doing well to regain it and then straddling a gate all together. And that is the end of Robin's cousin, or his nephew, Didier. So, well, Robin Kusch goes out. We're 1 from 2 so far. Bendotti already goes further than he did in the giant slalom yesterday. He was so disappointed. I saw him a little bit later in the day. The frustration etched on his face. He'd waited until the third giant slalom to try and get a bit of time on the mountain, on the course in the third giant slalom, and didn't make it as far as the first gate. That would have really frustrated him. One of the single leg skiers we have out on the course. Again, people may judge that single leg versus two leg is different. That's what all the factored times are for. Fred Turgeon is a great example in the women. She's the closest to Marie Bochet, who is a upper limb impairment. Turgeon, and like Bendotti, the lower limb impairment. Bendotti moving through neatly. 2.32 down at the moment, but Kiveri's time is a very competitive one as Bendotti gets the line in 53.91. Now we start to see just how good Santeri Kiveri's time is. Now, Theo Rimeur will tell you this is not his preferred event. He was talking yesterday with Stephen quite openly about how he hopes that Balchet wins the overall. That's because Balchet is the world champion in this discipline. Theo Rimeur not always his favoured. 0.95 down. Is Kiveri putting his hat into the ring, as they say, during this World Cup. Oh, and it's another straddled gate. And the Swiss aren't having a good time of it. We're 2 from 4. Both the Swiss athletes have gone and for the exact same thing. You have to go round the gates. Martha Balchet will not be expecting to make such mistakes. The field has already been halved from the 4 that have been. Balchet, the world champion, the Paralympic silver medal winner. .168 in front. Thus is the skill of Martha Balchet. Look at the speed of how he's turning and manoeuvring his way through these poles. Well, Kiveri was 50 seconds. Balchet's going to be 44.92. That's quite staggering from the young Frenchman.
Time for Francis Arthur Bochet, who is the new leader with this time difficult to beat for the rest of the
Leader due to performances in Zagreb. Remember, that was where this competition was done so far in our calendar. Thomas Field, silver medalist, the World Championships. The bronze medalist was Mitch Gawley. Get well soon, Mitch. Had a nasty knock on the penultimate day. As much as he tried to tell the doctors he could still compete with his damaged arm, nobody took him seriously, and Mitch missed out on the last day. Great spokesman and athlete through the years for Para Alpine. But here, Thomas Field, can he get anywhere near Balche? No, that just shows you how good Balche's time is. Phil drops in behind Kivri. Kivri is 5 seconds back from Balche. This is a demonstration of brilliance from Arthur Balche. Now we've got a little pause here. Martin Wirtz is at the top. He's just being held. There's some maintenance happening just behind Martin Wirtz. He's blocking the shot, but there is some maintenance happening with one of the gate poles. You can just see in the background there being replaced. And they look like they've just about finished what they were doing. So here we go then. Let's have a look at what we've got so far. 6 athletes have gone down. 2 of them have gone down. DNFs for both the Swiss athletes. Kusch and Gemur having their difficulties. Balche not in the slightest. This is Robin Kusch. Here was a real struggle. And then legs wide apart as he went towards that blue pole. And he knew straight away. And despite being brilliant in the giant slalom, Theo Gemur admits that this is not his favourite event, and whilst he pirouettes beautifully, that's not the name of the game. There is Martin Wirtz waiting patiently. There's a few repairs being made out on the course. And in fact, Martin is just being given the nod to say that he can go. So that's good. We have had a couple of delays already this morning. If you were watching on, you have noticed the start gate has disappeared due to the wind. And a few DNFs have meant that some running repairs have been needed. This is Martin Wirtz. I'll tell you what, if you can find 50% of the right line that Arthur Balche did, you're doing well. What a run that was. Wirtz came 6th in the World Championships. We'll be hoping to be in and around the top 4 or 5 here. With some very good names still left to come. Thomas Walsh, Aaron Lindstrom. Through the line he comes then. 6.40 behind. He is 4th. So Thomas Walsh will be next. There he is. Trying to keep warm with a short delay once again. And Walsh waving to the camera. I think that was hi, Mum. We talked yesterday about his frustration at missing out on 3rd position in the overall World Cup standings for giant slalom, and I happened to mention that he was a smiley character that never really stays down. Here's a look at Thomas Savard in action a little bit earlier on, and again, just going back to my comments about how far away the guide was from the athlete. Here comes Walsh then. There will be fire in the belly of the American this morning. .31 down here. Walsh had a good time in Zagreb himself. He's absolutely nailed one of the poles. Saw a part of it flying away. Walsh is having difficulties. Oh, and that frustration shows again, but he is in an ever-growing list of DNFs here on day 1 of the slalom. Just coming into here, there's a slide that he can't control, and once your leg has gone from the left side, the pole is coming. I tell you what, there's a massive hole in the course now. I wouldn't like to be on the end of that one. course, gets a bit of TLC. Here we are. Thank you very much for joining us once again. The World Para-Alpine Skiing World Cup from Roc Blanc in La Molina. If you want to get in touch with us, you can use the hashtag at the bottom right of your screen. Hashtag Para-Alpine. If you want to get in touch with us, you can use @Para-Alpine to follow us as well on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook too. Now, just to the right-hand side of the shot there, you could see some ski poles being taken down. That's because a few of them got broken. Thomas Walsh, not only did he leave a fist-size hole in the ground, he broke a couple of poles on the way down as well. Such was the strength of some of the turns. This is Aaron Lindstrom getting ready, and being held at a start, it can be frustrating, but for any athlete in any sport, at some point in your career you get held, and it's how you deal with it mentally. It can happen a few times in Alpine, but unlike the chairs, we try not to keep you hanging around too much. Lindstrom is out on course. Lindstrom trying to get close to Balchet. No one has done so far. Kivri was good. Balchet was brilliant. Lindstrom already 2 seconds down then. Another that falls in the bracket of being just 18. Has a congenital limb impairment affecting his left hand and forearm. See him using the forearm to move away the poles on that side. Time for Balchet has gone. He's chasing hard on Lindstrom though. On Kivri, should I say, and Lindstrom goes into second. It's a good run from the young Swede. World Cup medalist on the tour last year. This is Jordan Brossan. How will he fare in the hunt for Balchet? 3.61 down. Section all off balance, and when you're off balance in such a short circuit with such small narrow turns, it's very difficult, and Brossan lost a lot of momentum. Himself going again. The damage to his time will be fairly vast. Another little delay as well as he comes into this flattish section towards the finish. 57.59 for Brossan. Roger Davi, the only Andorran on the circuit. Oh, he's sliding out of day number one of the slalom as well. Oh, arms out to the side. We have seen some very frustrated athletes this morning, and Davi just adds to the list. Just goes from underneath him. Not a lot you can do about that. Well, Andorra, for geography purposes, if anybody's interested, is just over an hour away by car from this course here in La Molina. Niko Pijancic had his own little dramas yesterday. Oh, Nico's gone. Well, I think he's took a pole in the face that was unwanted. I think that's, yeah, get a bit of ice on it. There's plenty of it around. This is Hiraku Misawa. So another one of the single leg skiers on our tour. 3.96 seconds back. Coming to the line, 53.62.
3 seconds point 62. And there is the
Two Japanese athletes in the room. This is Kohei Takahashi, another that's just 18. A lot of these athletes will have their minds not just here in La Molina, but it's all about the future. Beijing, the next World Championships, which should be in Lillehammer, by my reckoning. But nothing confirmed just yet. Takahashi very much focused. When you read about him and speak with the team, it's all about getting to Beijing, the next Paralympic Games for Takahashi, and I'm sure that Lindström and Kiveri all fall into that bracket as well. Leander Kress and Marcus Nilsson Grasto coming up in a minute, again 18 and 17 respectively, as Takahashi hits the line. 55.19, that puts him in 8th position. Bordanks. It was one of the most interesting DNFs of the tour so far on the opening day of the Giant Slalom, when his prosthetic right leg snapped in half. He was very light-hearted about it afterwards. He said to me, I looked down, I couldn't see my foot. Oh, he's getting all out of shape, but has he managed to hold his line? No, Bordanks will go out here. And the slalom is becoming a very big leveler here. The list of DNFs is growing. Leander Kress, young German who is in his debut World Cup venue. Oh, and a big fall for Kress. He's really caught the bottom of one of the gate poles, and that sent him flying into the air. And now Kress has got to try and find some ability to slow himself down. He's going to hit the netting, that'll do it. And there we go. Lost his gloves and everything. There might be a little delay here. Just as he comes in, yep, doesn't get his ski round the pole at all, and in fact nearly hits it dead centre, which will only cause one thing. He's lucky not to take out the advertising banner as well. Well, Kress is fine. He's sat up. You often find with the skiers that their pride takes much more of a bruising than their body. Marcus Nilsson Grasto is the final athlete in the standing category. .39 seconds back. It's just 17. Again, a World Cup debut season. He was photoed with Jesper Pedersen, who was picking up a globe for one of the speed events yesterday in the town centre. Those were being dished out to those events that have already finished. The Giant Slalom, of course, finishing yesterday. Grasto's slalom event today finishes in 56.57, puts him in 9th position. There's no harm in that, especially when there's been so many DNFs. Just going to have a look at the standings then, and, well, quite frightening. 7 DNFs here this morning. And that is just in the men's standing. So we're down by at least 10 athletes today already. 2 DNSs in that as well. So Brossan at the bottom end, Walsh at the top. It's a French sandwich from top to bottom. Lindström and Kiveri doing well to be in contention. That battle for silver and bronze is going to be very interesting. Now the men's sitting slalom event. Igor Sikorsky, World Championship bronze medalist. We've got Jesper Pedersen going in this one, the silver medalist in the World Champs. We've got the gold medalist from the World Champs, Jeroen Kampschreur, as well. No Pyeongchang Paralympic medalists in the men's sitting. I believe all 3 have retired. Sikorsky started the World Cup in Zagreb not feeling great. Did pick up the bronze at the World Champs, so whilst the World Cup made him feel sick, World Champs would have made him feel a lot better. I think if he can put some decent slalom runs in here on day 1. Oh, and Sikorsky is wide. Can he get a puff this gate? He can, but again, it's all about keeping momentum, and the Poland sit skier has lost a lot of his. Oh, and Sikorsky goes out now as well. I wonder if there are going to be conversations about the course here. That's 7 DNFs in the men's standing, and already the first of the sitting has bitten the dust. Jeroen Kampschreur, how will the reigning world champion going to fare? Kampschreur has been so dominant with the GS. He lost out on the first day. Taiki Mori was in imperious form, but Kampschreur only needs to be at 99% on most days. The ability he seems to have is phenomenal, and he's got some real great contenders, the athletes around him, people like Pedersen, Andrew Kirker, and now Kampschreur slides out. Frustration as he breaks a gate pole as well. So I think there'll be a slight delay here. In fact, there is, because one of those gate poles got broken by Jeroen Kampschreur. So 2 from 2 haven't made the bottom. That's the world champion and the world bronze medalist have gone out. Some big World Cup points up for grabs. Here's Kampschreur then, just taking a look back into this right-hander. Just slides away from the bottom of him. Only Jeroen will tell you whether that was his fault or not. And he doesn't make many mistakes. I don't speak a great deal of Dutch, but I don't think the first word he said was repeatable. Now, Taiki Mori, as I said, did really well on the opening day of the giant slalom. Victory caught a few out, and he said that he felt like he was in form here in La Molina. He's been in and around the podium for all 3 of the giant slaloms. How will he tackle a slalom course that has already claimed the first 2? There's a bump there. He's ridden that well though. That's Taiki Mori, 38 years of age now. I'll tell you what, they've lost some gate poles today. They might need to nip out to the nearest ski shop and buy some more at this rate. That's at least the 4th one that I've seen snapped. Now Mori has made it much further down than anybody else. So Mori looking here like he's going to set the first time in the slalom contest. Just got to dance his way through these final few gates, and Taiki Mori lays down the challenge. 53.40. The world champion and the world bronze medal winner have already gone from the competition. Taiki Mori says, catch me if you can. This is the damage pole from Taiki Mori. So look back at Taiki going through the course. Just there. He's the right side, but he catches the pole in between his elbow and his right hip, and it just snaps it in half. There's a souvenir for him. Come on then, says the coach to Akira Kano. He's second of the two Japanese athletes. Kano going well. Oh, and just as I say, Kano going well, he slides out. Well, at this rate, Taiki Mori is sitting very pretty. Mori is gone. Well, it is the more technical event. It is the first time we've done it as a competition since Zagreb in the World Cup. Obviously, the World Championships, but these guys maybe a little bit rusty. There's De Langen. Despite being a giant slalom World Cup silver medalist, he'd never won a World Cup medal. So World Champ silver medalist during the World Championships. This week broke his World Cup duck. He's got an opportunity of slalom points and medals here. He's 82 tenths ahead, 82 100ths ahead of the Japanese athlete Taiki Mori at the moment. 0.82 the lead for De Langen currently, and he goes. Again, just getting caught up in one of the gate poles, and I think there's a gate pole on the deck, so that's meaning another short delay as well. Andrew Kirker being told he can go, so the man from Alaska leaves the start gate. Paralympic champion in his own right, Andrew Kirker. Another that's had a mixed week. He is one of those that during the World Cup season will go for it, will test his limits. For him, this is all about seeing how far he can push it. The World Champs and the Paralympic Champs are where he knows the big prizes are. He's 0.5 up. So was Niels de Langen, who didn't make it to the bottom. Oh, another bit of ski pole goes flying off to the side, but Kirker maintains an upright position for now. Final section of the course coming up then. Taiki Mori's time, 53.40. Kirker will get to the line, and Andrew Kirker leads the World Cup, 52.38. This is Markus Schwaterhofer of Austria. Kirker's time in the opening section, 22.39. How will Schwaterhofer fare? He's 0.80 up. 0.8 of a second for Markus Schwaterhofer so far. He can rest safe in the knowledge that if he gets across the line, he'll be inside the top three because he'll be the third person to finish. We've lost 4 already from this event, 7 from the men's standing. A slalom course that has got its problems for the athletes. Vaterhofer will make it to the bottom then. So here it is, a race to 52.38. Oh, he's just outside. Lost a bit of time at the bottom, but Vaterhofer goes second. Rene Di Silvestro finished second in the giant slalom. His first run was just 0.05 behind the great Kampsteur. Everybody was taking notice of Di Silvestro, the 22-year-old. Oh, well, I was just about to say he could make a name for himself here on the slalom, but he's adding to the list of DNFs. Di Silvestro goes. Well, he didn't finish in the World Champ, so that will irk Rene Di Silvestro a little. Alex Cairns is up next. We've still got two more Paralympic champions to come. Kurt Otway and Jesper Pedersen will be very much in the mix. But with only 3 across the line so far, big opportunities for athletes to claim some World Cup points here. Six-year-old originally from Vancouver, now I believe in Squamish, British Columbia. Made his debut back in 2015, did Cairns. Another athlete born with spina bifida. Now he's gone down. He's lost a piece of his equipment as well, I believe. Something went tumbling away. It's the front of his monoski. Now, I think we've seen that before from Alex Cairns during this World Cup. And it's a race between Cairns and the front of his monoski, and Cairns takes it. 5.40 will leave him in 4th position. But yeah, something came off during the run. Now, he's the World Cup leader. He was making his comeback from a very serious illness, a problem with his heart after Pyeongchang, put Jesper Pedersen's progress back somewhat. Made his debut for the season in Zagreb. There's a small field there, but he did take victory in both of the days of slalom. Managed silver in the World Championships, which he said for him he was very, very happy with, considering the start he'd had to 2019. Pedersen getting down towards the bottom. Pedersen then chasing down Kirker's time of 52.38. There's a slight tech delay. We'll try and get you the official time as soon as he's across the line then. Pedersen, world silver medalist, leader so far. He will hit the line. I'll try and bring you the official time for Jesper Pedersen as soon as I can. Whilst we wait for that, Floris Meyer is getting himself down the course. Pedersen's time, 52.38. He's absolutely bang level with Andrew Kirker. We have a tie for first place after the first run. Can anybody else affect that standing? Because that is going to be a real good shootout for the victory later if it stays like that. There's only a second separating the top 4, 1.02 to be precise. Taiki Mori, Vaterhofer, Pedersen and Kirker, just a second between the 4 of them. Floris Meyer is aiming to be the 6th person down. You can see the speed pretty different to Pedersen, but Floris, the 3rd of the Dutch athletes, he'll be the first to get across the line from the Netherlands if he completes the course, which he's looking likely to do so now with just a couple of gates left. Meyer will get across the line and he completes his run here this morning on the slalom. Again, apologies for the absence of our times. We're trying feverishly behind the scenes to fix that. Meyer's time, 59.99, so just inside the minute mark for Floris Meyer. And this is Oscar Antonio Esperiague Suarez. Suarez staying within the course at the moment. Esperiague Suarez. Again, some athletes completely different targets to others. Esperiague, seen a disappointment from him when he hasn't made it to the bottom, and that will be his main aim, trying to perfect his skills so that they can complete courses. And Esperiague Suarez does get to the line again. I'll bring you the time officially in a moment. Next up is Lou Braz Dagan. Esperiague Suarez's time, 1:01.53. This is the Frenchman, Lou Braz Dagan. .16 seconds down in the first intermediate. Lou Braz Dagan, the penultimate athlete. Oh, and well, we were getting into a rhythm of athletes finishing there, and Lou Braz Dagan, that's the first time he's crashed out, by the way. He's been ever present in the 3 giant slaloms. He's finished in all 3 as well, despite this being his debut World Cup venue. But he does crash out here on the first attempt at the slalom. This is Jurnej Slivnek from Slovenia. Very relaxed this morning when I saw Jurnej during breakfast. He's certainly a youngster taking everything as it comes. The only Slovenian on the circuit, and certainly has enjoyed over the last couple of years competing in Kranjska Gora, World Cup and World Championship venue over the past 2 seasons. Went out to the games in Pyeongchang as well and was well supported over there in Korea. And Slivnek trying desperately to complete the course. So many before him have not managed it. At the moment we have a tie for first position. Doesn't happen all that often, but it's certainly going to make the second run more exciting. Oh, and Slivnek has gone over one of the gate poles. Now, is he going to carry on? I think he comes back here and tries to go the right side of what he's missed. Oh, and all the hard work going in here. Slivnek showing us his drive and commitment. And now he is the right side of the gate. So if you do miss one and you can get back around it, that's absolutely fine. So Jurnej Slivnek showing us his determination to finish the course. 52.38 is the time from Kirker and Pedersen. Slivnek down by 30 odd seconds, but internally he will be delighted. There we go. Look at that. Talk about personal drive. That is what Slivnek has just showed us. So the standings are like this: 52.38 for Kirker and Pedersen. We are in for a grandstand of a second run, aren't we? Gratahofer in third, Taiki Mori in fourth, 1.02 separating the top 4. Only 8 of all of our starters finished in the men's sitting. Big names have gone as well. Kampschler and Sikorsky, gold and bronze medal winners respectively at the World Championship. De Langen, Di Silvestro, second place finisher yesterday in the giant slalom. A couple of DNS as well for Kurt Oatway. Well, this is Andrew Kirker showing everybody how it was done. He was tied with Jesper Pedersen. this is the current leader. He and Pedersen are level. Make sure you join us at 11:30 for the second run of the contest. It's going to be good. We'll be back with you in a little while.